All right, well, let's go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. They are the premier mortgage company in town. And I tell you, they're not a bank, which means they are not beholden to any one lender. They have a lot of them. They can shop the market on your behalf. Holly Schneidewin and her team over there do such a good job of listening to you, finding out what it is that you're trying to accomplish with this house buying search, what you need and what's unique about you. And then they do their best. Doesn't matter whether it is VHA, FHA, or conventional loan or some other of the specialty ones. They'll take good care of you. You can find them in person at 114th and Davenport or online at eaglemortgagecompany.com. Well, getting into our news today, the first thing we want to do is tell you that leasing has begun at the Monaco. And Trenton, some people are probably thinking, Monaco, what's the Monaco? This is a 5-story apartment building that we've been talking about for a while that is at 1508 Marcy Street. It's on the south side of downtown. And one of the things that's really cool about this is that this was on the fringe of going into that kind of little industrial area over there. So it's unique to see a cool built from the ground up building on something that was very recently a brownfield site.
Yeah, really. It's redevelopment and kind of infill, actually, and Marcy's close to Pacific Street.
Oh, yeah. And so if you are downtown on 15th Street, you would, it really just a little bit south of Leavenworth, and you can go ahead and find it pretty easily there. So the city of Omaha is making a lot of progress with MECA, Metropolitan Entertainment Convention Authority, working together on things in and around the CHI Event Center. There is currently a pretty impressive project underway, a 94,000 square foot addition on the east side of the convention center. This will create 25 more meeting rooms. And this is important because as the years have gone by since the CHI Center opened in the early 2000s, some of the competing cities in the region have added more convention space.
Or built new ones.
Or build them new. And so we compare very favorably when it comes to arena size, trade show space, like where they have the home and garden show and all that sort of stuff. We do really well with hotel rooms adjacent and attached to the convention center, but we had fallen behind a little bit on meeting rooms. So this will be helpful in order to get us up and running. The city of Omaha has made a $100 million commitment to that project that's currently underway. $75 million of that project, though, is privately funded. So this expansion is happening nicely. Also, a couple other things related to MECA and that facility and the area around it. Right now, the city and MECA are going to kick off a project in which they will examine parking in and around, trying to determine how many stalls are necessary. There have been some changes with parking around the CHI in Lot A, which is kind of on the lower back corner, call it the southeast corner of the facility. Some of that parking has been lost to make way for the vehicle maintenance facility for the future streetcar project. And then there's been a lot of talk about redeveloping lots B and D. Lot B is the one that is bordered by the Chi itself, Hilton Omaha, Charles Schwab Field, and what is the baseball village during the CWS to the west. And then Lot D is the biggest one, which is north. Well, there's been a lot of talk about, should we put another convention hotel on part of Lot B and then replace the stalls with a parking garage? Should we put some sort of development or attraction on Lot D and replace the lost stalls with a parking garage? And so basically what's going to happen is there's going to be this kind of study or basically a master planning effort that is supposed to be done by June of next year, so almost a year from now, and it'll kind of determine where we might be able to go when it comes to redeveloping that area.
Yeah, and let's not forget the possible addition of retail, ground floor retail in some of these areas. I know during the College World Series, they'll interview Old Market restaurants and retailers. They say, well, we don't get as much activity this far south, but if there's a connectivity and there's more retail, it could be good for everybody.
Absolutely. And also in that general part of town, 2 new businesses are coming to the northwest corner of 16th and Cumming Street in North Downtown. Right on that corner currently is a very nice restaurant called Ellie's Chinchorro, which is Caribbean food.
Good stuff.
Right just to the north of that space and attached to it, 2 interior renovation permits are on file for a 2,000 square foot commercial building. The exact address is 910 North 16th Street. So like we say, attached to and on the north edge of Ellie's. The businesses opening in that building will be 910 Wine Lounge and Lit Cigar Bar. Probably nice additions to that area as it becomes more and more of an entertainment destination. Well, the state of Nebraska has chosen the city of Kearney for the 5th and final Good Life District. And they beat out Papillion in order to get this. Kearney's Good Life District will be on 200 acres of vacant land surrounding the city's Sportsplex building and will include retail, restaurants, attractions, all developed by a private developer. As you know, if you're a regular listener, Good Life districts are intended to attract new industries, generate employment, strengthen the economy, and really pull in people from out of state in particular to consume retail and entertainment services here. 50% of state sales taxes generated in these districts goes back to the city in order to assist the developer in funding the project over a 30-year period. The other approved districts are, there's one in Grand Island, and then the other 3 are all here in the metro area. Bellevue, which is where the water park is going, Gretna, the controversial one around Nebraska Crossing, and Omaha, Avenue 1, 192nd and Dodge.
Yeah, I think that it's understandable it went to Kearney. A lot of people probably think that the applicant was going to do something on 370 because that's a big corridor.
The Papillion applicant?
Yeah, and I believe it was a couple hundred acres on Capehart. But I get it. To have 3 of the 5 in Sarpy County was probably a tough get.
That may have been a little bit seen as a little bit greedy for one county, but we'll see how that all plays out. There's still a long ways to go with these Good Life districts becoming what is envisioned, but we certainly hope that they will.
And let's hope these projects, my concern is that a lot of these projects are incentive driven rather than demand driven, or we need this. You know, a lot of the placeholders that some of these developers show seem pretty aggressive. I mean, yes, there's some big gas station convenience stores, but showing a 50,000 square foot convenience store, and it's got a lot more than convenience store, obviously, and 200 gas pumps in Gretna seems like it could take it's just not necessary.
You're saying it might be a bit ambitious?
Yes.
We'll see how it all plays out. The Greater Omaha Chamber hosted its annual Select Tour during the 2025 College World Series last month here in Omaha. The Select Tour brings some of the nation's leading site selectors and corporate location advisors to town. So these are the people who influence and determine, where a company's going to locate, where a factory's going to be built, where a distribution center might be. So they're extremely influential people for cities that want to grow their economy. They get wined and dined a lot. And so basically, the chamber here in Omaha, their version of wining them and dining them was to really impress them with everything the city had going on during the CWS. And from everything we've heard, it went over pretty well. Trenton, you may not realize this, but back in the maybe 2005, 2008 era, I used to help out with Select Tour.
I remember that.
Do you really?
You loved it. You were giddy.
Oh, yeah. We wined, we dined.
And what's cool about, though, think about how everybody in the city has contributed to making it a lot easier for those site selection people to see what's happening. And they see a trajectory, not just the stuff that's built, and we're incredibly more an ambitious city and forward-thinking city than we were 20 years ago. So any exposure, we get great exposure. We don't have the swim trials anymore, unfortunately. The CWS is extremely important. But we're getting a lot of regional and national conventions and sports. A lot of people don't even know about them, but we do get a lot of bookings.
Well, that is your news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, EagleMortgageCompany.com. If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.